Hey YouTube, Jam here. Welcome back to the gaming station. So today we're going to finish up the meta breakdown series so that we can get this out of the way till a few weeks after the next round of balance changes. Today the modes we're going to be focusing on are the last two that I haven't covered yet, which are Bounty and Heist. As usual, I'm going to list the top 5 brawlers in terms of win rate that also rank in the top of the use rate list. Since I'm doing two modes today, I don't really have time for a long-winded explanation of it. So if you need more clarity, you can ask down in the comments or go and check out one of the other videos because I explained them all in those ones too. Alright, so we're going to run through Bounty first. My Bounty stats are from June 4th, and we're going to start with my honorable mentions. Piper. Piper is normally the queen of Bounty, and people still believe that looking at her pick rates, as she's second in pick rates right now. But her win rates are only 11th, which knocks her out of contention for the top 5. I do think the meta is shifting a little bit more towards mid to close range brawlers with some of these new maps, and that might be the reason why Piper's win rates are a little bit lower. Rosa. This is weird, but Rosa has the 12th highest win rate in Bounty and the 10th highest pick rate. She doesn't quite make the top 5 list with those stats, but the win rate is just behind Piper's, and being ranked in use rate, I felt compelled to mention her. Also, in the May competitive finals, we saw a few Bounty comps that featured Rosa and the next brawler I'm going to talk about. Poco. Poco is the handcuff to Rosa and a few other tanks in Bounty. Playing that role has got Poco the 8th highest win rate in Bounty while holding the 12th highest use rate. So, while Rosa and Poco haven't made the list this time, given that we saw this combo a few times in the finals last month, and the new Bounty maps that are coming out, I won't be shocked if this becomes a new meta that fully emerges in the next month or so. Penny. Penny is the first brawler I'm going to mention that actually could qualify for the top 5, but she got beat out by a few other brawlers. Penny is 10th in win rates and 8th in use rates. Penny can work pretty well on most Bounty maps. All you have to do is get her turret out, put it somewhere towards the middle of the map, and it will exert pressure on the opposing team. Alright, so those are my honorable mentions for Bounty. Let's get into the top 5 now. Number 5 today is going to be Bo. Bo is currently 8th in win rates at 53% and number 1 in pick rates at a staggering 11%. That's honestly insanely high for just one brawler. Bo is good in Bounty because of his supercharging gadget. He can put his totem down and let his team feed their supers for free while waiting for the enemy to overcommit by pushing up too far. His mines are good for blocking off choke points, and his star powers help a lot too. Snare Bear can almost guarantee a kill if a brawler is hit with a mine when in the open, and we all know how good Circling Eagle works on Snake Prairie. Okay, on to number 4. Number 4 in Bounty is going to be Brock. Brock currently has the 6th highest win rates at 53.1%, as well as having the 3rd highest use rates at 8.5%. Brock has always been great in Bounty. His range and high damage make sure of that. I don't think he's going to be hit as hard with the new maps as Piper will be because Brock is a little more flexible thanks in part to his gadget. His gadget can act as an escape when he needs it, much like Piper's super, but Brock still has his super, which can open up the map for him and get kills from a distance, where Piper loses her escape if she uses her super just to open up the map. And we're on to number 3. Tick is going to be the number 3 brawler on today's list. Tick has the 3rd highest win rate at 54.2% and the 5th highest use rate at 6.7%. Bounty is definitely one of Tick's best modes because of his long range and ability to maintain control of the map. Tick can just hang back and spam shots at choke points, making it difficult for brawlers to peek out and try to land a shot on him. And if a brawler rushes him, he can either drop his super to deal a ton of damage to them or use his gadgets to make an attempt to get away from the enemy till his teammates can come and help him. The next brawler on today's list, ranking in at number 2, is going to be Tara. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little surprised to see Tara having these stats for Bounty. But right now, Tara is 2nd in win rates at 54.8% and 7th in use rates at 4.9%. Tara is one of the brawlers I think will benefit a lot from these new maps. She has good damage and good health, so she's a decent mid-range fighter, which these new maps seem to favor. And when she charges her super, she can kill a good chunk of the Brawl Stars roster. Also, her gadget works really well on maps like Snake Prairie and Deeper Danger. And the number 1 brawler for Bounty is going to be Sprout. Sprout is tied with Mr. P for the top win rate at 58.6%, but unlike Mr. P, Sprout ranks in the top 10 of pick rate, coming in at 9th with a pick rate of 3.2%. So, Sprout is strong in Bounty for a few reasons. Like I said in the Siege video, his shots are super easy to land, making it easy for him to just chip opponents and force them back. On top of that, he can use his gadget to quickly heal some health and stay in his lane when he gets chipped. And his walls are great for blocking opponents who try to advance on him and his teammates. So that's going to do it for the Bounty meta. I think this list pretty much came out as I expected when I started this. I'm a little surprised by Bo's use rates as they're crazy high. I'm also a little surprised by Tara's win rates as she's not the brawler I would have expected to be in the number 2 spot for Bounty. Other than that though, everything else was pretty on point. Okay, now on to Heist. My Heist stats are from June 5th, and like always, I'll be starting with my honorable mentions. Rico. Rico is currently 8th in win rates and 7th in use rates. Rico is good on most maps for Heist, but Heist is a game mode where it has a very stiff meta, and brawlers that are on the top of the list dominate the mode, so Rico just missed out in breaking the top 5. Daryl. Probably the second best tank for a Heist team. Daryl ranks 7th in win rates and 10th in use rates. He's a brawler I strongly considered breaking my rules to put in the top 5, but I'm sticking to the rules that I applied through this whole series, so he's stuck as an honorable mention. Brock. I personally really like Brock in Heist. Right now, Brock is 6th in win rates and 5th in use rates. He's another brawler that I would rather put on my list, but sticking to my rules again, he just doesn't make the cut. I will say I would rather have him or Daryl on my team over the rank 5 brawler, but we'll talk about that after we go over those numbers. So those are my honorable mentions. They're all very good in Heist, and they should have made the list because unlike the number 5 brawler, they are not star power dependent in the mode. But the number 5 brawler is going to be Nita, who steals the rank 5 spot today. Nita has the 5th highest win rate at 54%, just beating Brock by 0.1%, and Nita also has the 3rd highest use rate at 9.5%. Personally, I think Nita is only playable in Heist if you have Hyper Bear on her. And even then, she's not that good, as she needs to be able to get her bear to lock onto the safe to get full value from it. So it's limiting when compared to what other brawlers can do in the mode. And Nita without Hyper Bear is pretty much useless in Heist and should not be played in the mode at all in my opinion. So to sum up my thoughts on Nita in Heist, she is 100% dependent on Hyper Bear to be good in the mode. Nita herself and a non-Hyper Bear Bruce do not offer enough to a Heist team to be effective. If you don't have Hyper Bear on Nita, please do not play her in Heist. Alright, with my complaining out of the way, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is going to be Barley. Barley's 4th in win rates in Heist at 54.1% and has the 10th highest pick rate at 5%. Barley is one of my favorite brawlers for Heist because of his good damage and ability to hit the safe over walls, which enables him to keep a good distance between himself and the opponents. And now that Barley's gadget got a pretty decent buff, he can use it when someone tries to chase him down, and it will give him an opportunity to get away. Next up on the list, we have Colt. I'm a little surprised at this, but Colt is 3rd in win rates for Heist at 54.3% and 1st in use rates at 10.6%. So, Colt is good in Heist because of his great DPS, so when he gets on the safe, he can't be ignored. His gadget also helps him a lot with this, as he can pump 3 shots into the safe and then activate it to get 2 more shots immediately. He has okay range, so he can start chipping brawlers down in his lane pretty early. And Heist is a mode where his super offers huge value, being able to hit a brawler, knock down walls, and chip the safe all at the same time. Number 2 on the Heist list is going to be BB. Right now, BB is 2nd in win rates for Heist at 54.6% and 4th in use rates at 7.2%. BB's real strength in Heist is her ability to dominate the middle of a map, making it hard for opponents to move up and get in range of your safe. Her speed and star powers help her a lot with this. She also has the added benefit of being able to throw her bubble onto the safe to try to get a few bounces to do some easy chip damage. If you still haven't tried her in Heist, you should, because she's a lot of fun to play in the mode. And you probably already knew this, but the number 1 brawler for Heist is going to be Bull. Bull is number 1 in win rates at 55.5% and 2nd in use rates at 10.2%. Bull feels like he was made for Heist. He has amazing damage when up close to the safe, which is not hard to do after you get your super, which allows you to just charge right in on it. I will say, you should try to get your super as early as you can in a match, but try not to dive in by yourself. Help your teammates win their lanes, then move up together. When Bull is on the safe and there's a ranged brawler or 2 behind him, the match is basically over at that point. And that's going to do it for the Heist list. It came out as I expected it to. But, as you can tell, I don't really agree with Nita being ranked on it, as she's star power dependent for the mode, in my opinion. I do think that Brock or Daryl would have been better picks for the spot, but I stuck to my rules, so here it is. Other than that though, I agree with the way the list came out. I play a lot of Heist, so this is the mode I'm most confident in saying that it's a decent list. But, what do you think about either of these lists? As always, let me know down in the comments. I enjoy doing this series, and it's pretty eye-opening to see what brawlers are truly in a good spot in the meta right now. Ems and Sprout are very strong, and Terra is sneaky strong as well, ranking in 3 of my lists overall. If you haven't seen the other videos, go check those out and leave a comment on them for me as well. I'm going to take a break on the meta breakdowns until about 2 weeks after the next round of balance changes. The devs still haven't announced when those are going to be yet, but when they do announce the balance changes that are coming, I will make a video on those as well. Also, the next time I work on this series, I think I'm going to try to condense it to about 3 videos instead of 5 or 6. If you don't think that's a good idea, or if you would like it better that way, let me know down in the comments as well. Alright, that's going to do it for today. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.